Now, if you ever owned a PlayStation 3, then you probably remember this game because it was extremely popular for a period of time. However, if you don't remember or don't know about it, PlayStation Home was a community-based virtual world where you could socialize and interact with other PlayStation users. Anyone who owned the console was able to access it as well, which made it super easy to play. In the game, you could create and customize your own character, and every player was given their very own apartment, which was able to be decorated with different items you earned. They had all sorts of stuff like different mini games, events, and spaces that you could explore as well. It's kind of reminiscent of games like VR Chat, Rec Room, and the Metaverse, but at the time this was a new and innovative concept that was a big risk for PlayStation at the time. PlayStation had put in a ton of money into creating PlayStation Home, not knowing if it would actually be worth it. In fact, the game almost didn't release at all, but luckily it did because for a while it became hugely popular and gained a really strong fan base. The exact numbers of how much they made or how many players there were playing at the time isn't exactly known, but it was obviously big enough that they continued to support and update the game for several years, constantly adding new stuff, whether it was games, events, or even clothing. Speaking of clothing, this was actually one of the first games to introduce microtransactions the way it did. Now, as far as gaming as a whole goes, this might have actually been for the worst, but at the time, people actually did spend massive amounts of money and time on the game. One way they made money was that even other companies would use PlayStation Home to advertise their own products or games, spending millions of dollars on these collaborations, meaning that there was definitely enough activity on this game for it to be worth it. I mean, even though the game was pretty simple and just a place where you could chat with other players, there were people who played PlayStation Home more than the actual games on their PlayStation. Now, with the PlayStation 4, unfortunately, they started shifting their focus away from PlayStation Home, eventually announcing that on March 31st of 2015, PlayStation Home in its entirety would be shutting down completely. Thousands of players even gathered together in their last moments of the servers being active, marking the end of PlayStation Home.